Hi, it's been a while. How's it going, everyone? I'm back. I tried to record this episode on Monday and it's now Thursday. I edited the video that I shot and I actually had it uploaded to YouTube, and I just didn't like it. I was feeling really low energy, and anyway, so I just scrapped it and here we are again. We have a little bit more light today too. It was really dark when I recorded on Monday. So here we are, trying to get back into the swing of things in January. And let me tell you, it's been interesting. But we're here. I've got some coffee today. This is in my Starbucks Hawaii mug that we picked up on our honeymoon. You can see it says Hawaii on the inside there. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I have some stuff to show you. I am feeling good about the lighting. I'm feeling good about a lot of things today. So that's already a great start. So yeah, here we are. Hi, my name's Laura. This is the I Heart Knitting YouTube channel. You can find me on the rest of the internet as I Heart You, so that's spelled E-W-E. And that is my Instagram handle, and that is the name of my Etsy shop where I sell project bags and other items for knitters. And you can find me on Ravelry as I Heart You Knits. And as always, if you had any questions and can't find the answers for them, then just leave a message down below and I will get back to you in as timely of a manner as I can. So it's been a while since I posted any videos or anything. I'm actually planning on recording another video today that's going to go up next week. And I do have plans to get into a more regular schedule now that we're into the new year. So we'll see how that goes. It's been 5 weeks, I think, maybe even more, since I put anything up on the channel, and I was feeling really bad about that. But I just took a big break off of social media in general, and I'm excited to show you some of the things I've been working on. I have some new items that had come in the mail since the last time I talked to you, and I have a couple finished objects. I have a really fun Christmas gift to show you. So yeah, hopefully that excites you. So yeah, I hope that you had a chance to take a bit of a break over the holidays like I did. Like I said, it felt really great to do it, and I'm feeling better about being back now. So yeah, I hope you had a good holiday as well. If you were able to take a break, I really hope you were able to. If you weren't, I hope you get to take one soon. Let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to show you is a finished object, and that is these socks. They're super bright and fun. They're actually a little brighter on camera than they are in person. But this is actually pretty accurate. They're a really dark teal with a pink, and there's this orange speckle you can see throughout, which I really love. I started these socks just before Christmas and cranked them out really fast. They were super fun. The yarn is a one-of-a-kind colorway by the Lemonade Shop. So I'm not sure if they have anything similar to this in their shop or not, but either way, I got this a while ago as a one-of-a-kind. I actually started using this yarn in my in a goldfish memory shawl that I ended up frogging because the yarn that I chose was not playing well with each other, and I'm really glad I did because I love these socks, and the goldfish memory that I ended up knitting, I really love that as well, and the color choices were a lot better my second time around. So I did a few things a little differently here. I decided to do a folded cuff on these. So the cuff is folded down and then tacked on the inside. So what I did here is I asked on Instagram, what length people did. This is the first time I tried a folded cuff. And I was originally planning on doing a 2-inch, so knitting 4 inches before I folded it over. But after seeing people's responses on Instagram, a lot of people said to knit 2 to 2.5 inches before you fold it in half. So you get a 1 to 1.25 inch cuff. I wanted mine a little deeper than that, so I decided to do 3 inches before I tacked it down. So I have a nice 1.5-inch folded cuff here. So all I did was I knit 3 inches straight after I cast on. I used like a long tail cast on, and then once I had done that, I folded the cast on to the inside of my work, and then I tacked it down by like picking up into my cast on edge and then knitting that together with the next stitch on the needle. So I did that all the way around. Yeah, I love the look of it. I love how clean it is. I really like how you get on the inside here a little bit of stockinette as well. So like if I wanted to fold these down again and make them even shorter, you'd have like a nice stockinette edge showing instead of a reverse stockinette. And yeah, I love it. I actually started another pair of socks that I have to show you, and I did the same idea with that one because I just love this folded cuff so much. And then I decided to do an eye of partridge heel just for something different. So here, let me see if I can get that to focus. So the eye of partridge heel, and then I just did a little bit of garter stitch down the one edge. And you can see here I only picked up one of the sides of my slipped stitch edge here, and I wish I'd picked up both because it would have been a little cleaner. There's that bit of a line there, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. And the eye of partridge heel was fun. So yeah, just simple 64 stitch vanilla socks, but just a couple different techniques to keep things interesting for me. And yeah, really like these. Super fun. I think they are my first finish of 2021, so that's exciting. And the other thing I finished is my pink velvet sweater, which I also love. Oh, it's so pretty. So you've seen this a lot in previous episodes because I've been working on it a lot. The main color is Euphoria Knits Frenzy. I don't have the tags with me anymore. I've put it away, but yeah, I just can't remember. But it's this really nice, like dark eggplanty color. And then this colorway, the pink, I know is called Antique Lace, and this is in Euphoria Knits, their mohair base. So you use the lace weight mohair held double for the color work, and then just fingering weight. This is sock yarn for the rest of it. So I love how this turned out. It's really pretty. It looks great on. I ended up going up a needle size, so I was just worried about it being a little small, and I'm glad I did because the fabric is really beautiful. It drapes really well, and the fit is perfect. So I think I may do that in the future for Andrea Mowry patterns. Just go up a needle size. I have a feeling she is a slightly more relaxed knitter than I am. So while my gauge is usually pretty close, you know, even if it's a little bit off, if it's a little bit, if I'm knitting a bit tighter than over the entire circumference of a sweater, that will, you know, add up. But I love it. Like I said, very happy with it. And I had planned to finish this for a Christmas party just before Christmas. It was on December 18th. So I'd set a goal to finish it before then, and I did finish it that day, but the Christmas party ended up being canceled. So I haven't actually had a chance to wear it yet. I should just throw on an outfit and do at least some finished object photos because I haven't even done that. I haven't posted on Instagram or anything, but I'm really, really happy with it. I look forward to wearing it when I have an opportunity to wear it. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about that. I did the sleeves like more of a 3/4 length so that I was able to add just another inch in length to the body because it is a bit cropped. I think you were supposed to knit to 8.5 inches and then do 1.5 inches of ribbing. And so I just wanted a little bit of extra length there. So I chose to do a 3/4 length sleeve and then used the yarn because I had just enough yarn. I just had 2 skeins of the main color. So I decided to do the sleeves a little shorter and then use that leftover yarn that I had, and I made the body 1 inch longer. And I didn't do the tubular cast on but I did end up doing the tubular bind off on the sleeves and the body, and I'm really happy I did. It took a long time to Kitchener the body closed, but here I'll just show you on a sleeve how nice of an edge it gives you. I'll hide my face. So it just gives you a really clean edge. It's tubular, like it just twists onto the inside almost seamlessly, and it's also quite stretchy. So my other go-to for a stretchy bind off would be Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, but it doesn't look the greatest. It's a little puckery when it's not stretched. So anyways, I would recommend doing the tubular bind off, but it does take a really long time to do all that Kitchener stitch on the body. I think I spent like more than probably 2 hours. I didn't time it, but I spent a good chunk of a morning just doing the body Kitchenering on the bind off, but it was worth it. That's the one thing I wanted to say. It takes forever, but it does make a really nice edge. And I've done the tubular cast on before. I just didn't do it this time. I didn't think, like when I started the sweater, I don't think I was planning to do the tubular bind off. So I just did my regular like long tail cast on the neck edge, but it looks fine. It's nobody's gonna be upset about that. But yeah, love this sweater. I'm really glad it's finished, and it's unlike anything else I have in my wardrobe, which is probably the nicest thing for me. Is it's completely different from my other knit sweaters, so it's nice to just knit something a little different. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm knitting like kind of the same silhouette over and over again. So yeah, those are my two finished objects. And then for works in progress, I have 3 new cast-ons to show you. So the first one here is probably going to change a bit, but this was my Christmas Eve cast-on, and it's the Old Harbor hat by Tammy Gore. And it's really fun. I'm using Flock Fiber Studio DK in the Koi colorway for the main color, and then the contrast color is this Goosey Fibres teal. I don't know the colorway, but I had it in my stash. I've had it for a long time. And the reason I chose the colors the way I did was I didn't think I'd have enough teal to use the teal as the background color here, but I'm not loving the way the color work is looking. I think the color work really should be reversed so that the teal is the background. So I don't think I have enough yarn to do the whole ribbing and everything in the teal, but I think what I am going to do is rip back this color work, and then after the ribbing, start knitting the teal as my background color, and then use the speckle as the contrast color, because it'll be more appropriate for the pattern how it was written. And yeah, it'll just work with my yardage a little better. The pattern seems to call for like a lot more yarn than I think I'll use, so I'm very curious to see how much I end up using in the end, because it called for I think it called for like 200 yards of what's the speckled color, the main color, and then another 100 yards of the teal, and it just seems like a lot. I don't think I'm going to need that much. So anyways, I started this. It was really fun to do this for Christmas Eve cast on. I normally cast on a pair of socks on Christmas Eve, so it was fun to do something a little different. But I just stopped working on it because the colors just weren't quite right. So I think if I flip it around with that teal as the background, it'll look really good. But yeah, that is the Old Harbor hat by Tammy Gore. It's a really fun colorwork hat, and I'm really happy with the colors that I've chosen. I just think they need to be tweaked a bit. This is that Koi colorway by Flock Fiber Studio, and it's super fun. So yeah, so there's that one. The other thing I cast on was a pair of Flourite socks. Fluorite is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and it is a faded sock. I'm just going to flip it inside out because you knit it you're knitting around on the inside of the sock essentially, and you're making a reverse stockinette sock. So this is what it looks like. It is just a faded reverse stockinette sock. They're going to be tall. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel in pink, and I actually think it looks really cool on the reverse stockinette side. I've never used this side as the side that shows before. But yeah, these are not very complicated or anything. They're just a simple sock. You know, the kind of interest for this one is the fading, and then also doing it on the reverse stockinette side. So yeah, I really liked the toe that was included in the pattern. It's like a wedge shaped toe. And then I only have 3 yarns, so it's not going to fade amazingly well. It's going to be a bit patchy. But these were leftovers from my sorrel sweater, and I just wanted to use them up, and I'd had planned to use them for this. So those are my 3 colors. So there's going to be a lot of difference from this one to this one. Maybe not quite as much from this one to this one, but I'm okay with that. They're just going to be tall knee socks, and you know, while they don't fade as well as maybe they would if I had had like other yarns to include in, it's more about like kind of the memory of this yarn, and I don't know, do you know what I mean? The memory of the project. So anyways, I wanted to use the yarns from like the leftovers from my sorrel to knit these socks. I've had them planned for ages. So yeah, so this is what they look like on the stockinette side. It's a little more patchy. Only thing with these patterns that you're knitting, you know, you're knitting, but eventually you want the purl side to show, is you got to remember to carry all your ends up and do all your work that you don't want to show has to be on the stockinette side, which is kind of the opposite of what we're used to as knitters. So yeah, it's always a good idea to remember to, you know, remember which side is going to be showing on your finished project. When I did the Comfort Fade Cardi, which is kind of a similar idea to this, but in a cardigan where you fade in colors, I had to rip back a bunch of it because I was taking some photos of work in progress photos and realized that I had carried up all my yarn on the purl side, which was the side that was supposed to be showing. So I had to rip that all back. Anyways, yeah. So this is knit out of Hedgehog Fibres. By the way, I don't think I said that. This is Hedgehog Fibres sock, and it's the leftovers from my sorrel sweater, which is a pattern by Wool and Pine. And then the last thing I have to show you is just another sock project that I started the other day. I'm slowly trying to go through my, you know, older stash yarn, and something I have a lot of saved is the Fawn and the Fox yarns. When Lara was having her first baby and was going to be shutting the shop down for a while, I got really possessive and collected a ton of her yarn and then didn't use it, and now, you know, it's all really beautiful and I love it, so it's time to go through it and start using it. So you've seen me knitting socks out of the Fawn and the Fox yarns quite often this year, and that's because I'm trying to go through my stash. So this is the colorway. It's called Dreamer, and it's on her tweed base. So as I've said before, the Fawn and the Fox doesn't dye anymore, but they do have really beautiful yarns, and you could probably find them through a D-stash or something if you're interested. But so it's on a tweed base, and it is just like a purple and blue mix. And so I started these socks. I did the same idea. I did just plain stockinette for 18 rounds before I started the pattern here, and then tacked it down on the inside. So I'm doing that same folded cuff idea. And then the pattern, I just wanted to break up some of the yarns pooling a little bit. So I just kind of made it up, you know, out of my head. So it's just like a 4x4 repeat, and that makes this pattern. So it's just a really simple kind of textured pattern, simple textured sock. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these are turning out so far. It's fun to do just a little bit of a pattern for some visual interest. And yeah, with these highly speckled yarns, it can kind of break up some of that heavy striping. So yeah, I just have that living in one of my sock size bags, which I think you've seen before with the raccoons on there. And then this is a little zipper pull stitch marker from Jiggles and Beans. And yeah, so I think that's basically it for knitting projects. I did get some yarn in the mail, which is pretty fun, and a couple new stash acquisitions. So the first thing I got were these two giant balls of Lion Brand. This is the Woolies Thick and Quick. It's 82% acrylic, 10% wool, and 8% rayon. It's just this super chunky tweed gray yarn, and they retail for, I think it says on here, $16.99 Canadian for one of these big balls, but they were 25% off. So I ended up getting like this full sweater quantity of yarn for like, I think like $25 or something. So that's pretty great. And sometimes it goes on sale for even cheaper. I think I've gotten it for $10 a ball before. And I'm planning to knit a Winston sweater out of this. Winston is a pattern by Jane Richmond. She's a Vancouver Island designer, and it's just like a simple, chunky weight, oversized sweater. It's actually designed to be knit out of this yarn. And I actually knit one before. I think I showed it on the channel in 2020. I knit it in like a charcoal gray. But I didn't make it quite oversized enough. I'm not sure if I used the right needles. And then the other thing I didn't think about is like I had the measurements right, but with such a super bulky fabric, I think you actually need a little bit of extra measurements just to make up for the bulkiness of the fabric. Like, does that make sense? Like the fabric has depth on its own. So when you measure that out, you need to add a little bit to accommodate for like the actual thickness of the fabric. Yeah, I just think that like because it's such a chunky, thick yarn, the outside circumference of your project, and then if you were to measure like the interior circumference of the project, you'd probably lose a bit of measurement there. So either way, it didn't fit quite right. I wanted it to be a little bit more oversized, a little bit more like a super comfy sweater. And so I ended up giving it to a friend of mine who is a bit smaller than me, and she tried it on. It fit her perfectly. It looked great. So I'm going to try again with this. I don't have plans to start this anytime soon, but I just wanted to pick up the yarn while I saw it and while it was on sale. The other thing I picked up in like the end of 2021 was this yarn by To The Max Yarn Company. So To The Max had I think it was like a Small Business Saturday sale going, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, something like that. So I picked up a different skein of DK, which I gifted to a friend for Christmas. And then I got this skein of DK, which is, it's called Crafty Jackalope version 2.0. So the Crafty Jackalope did like a collab with them for Knit City Mini this year. And so this is like, I guess, a slightly different version of the yarn they had at Knit City Mini. So it's really hard to see, but there are very subtle, like colorful speckles all going through here, as well as just this like nice gray. So yeah, I am very happy with that. That's just going in the stash. And then the other thing I picked up was this sock set. It was like Christmas themed. This one's called Candy Cane Bark, and it's just this really nice pink with some burgundy speckled in there, and then a really nice burgundy mini. So these might be Christmas socks next year. It's like, I like to have a couple Christmas sock sets to do socks in December. Yeah, so this is just their Candy Cane Bark. I think they're having a sale right now as well. To The Max Yarn Co. I think they're rebranding. So if you are interested in getting some of their yarn, you could check that out. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you was a gift from my husband for Christmas, and I mentioned it to him and completely forgot about it. So it was a really fun surprise to open it up at Christmas. Or it might have been for my birthday. My birthday's on Boxing Day, so I get kind of mixed up about what came on what day. But I got the Grocery Girls winter box that they did with Shirley Bryan yarn. So this is the yarn. I had everything in the box still when I recorded the other day, and then I took it all apart after I finished. So I don't have it in the box to show you, but this is what I got. I got this yarn from Shirley Bryan Yarn, and it's their deconstructed fade sock set. So it starts with like this really dark blue and it goes to this dark pink and fades throughout. So it's really pretty yarn. It's already skeined into 2 skeins. This will give you an idea of like the fade that you're gonna get. And yeah, it came with these 2 patterns that were really nicely printed out. So there's a hat pattern by Jody and then a sock pattern by Tracy. And yeah, they just had it printed out really nicely in this little booklet. I really like the hat pattern. I think you hold the yarn double for that, the fingering double, but it's a really fun little design on there. And then it came with this candle, which is like Grocery Girls branded, and I can't remember the name of the candle company. It's called Ebony and Ivory Candle Company, and it's really nice. It's like piney, like it starts out smelling really sweet, and then it has this kind of like evergreen pine scent to it. So this was really cute. It came with a recipe for loaded pretzels, which looks really great. I have not made those yet. It came with this little holographic snowflake sticker with their logo on it. And it also came with a little laser cut stitch marker. It's going to be hard to see with the reflection of the bag, but it's a snowflake as well. And it has their little grocery cart with balls of yarn logo in there as well. So yeah, that was fun to get. I love these little lifestyle boxes, but sometimes I just have trouble justifying buying them for myself. I know I should treat myself, but you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, these are like a little expensive. But this one, like, I actually liked all the extras that it came with. They didn't feel like just filler, and it was nice to get it as a gift as well. That's always like a fun thing around the holidays to get yourself, you know, to get a little treat that maybe my husband would have known to get unless I'd shown him. But yeah, anyways, very excited about those. I think I'm gonna knit socks out of them, probably really tall ones, because like the Shirley Bryan yarn, the fade is so pretty. I want to make sure I use the entire fade. Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you is some bags that I've been working on for the next shop update. My next shop update is going to be on January 21st. That is a Friday. And so far it is all patchwork bags. I've been working through some of my scraps, and I created these like big patchwork panels. And this one's super bright. I really love it. But so they're like going to be patchwork on both sides with the same kind of color scheme. And these are bucket bags. So these are like the XL bucket bag sizes. And they're super fun. Just like kind of mixed colors that I thought would work well together. And some of them have like a really like fun vintage look. I really like these ones with the linen squares alternated in. This one is just like grays and teal and yellow. And then this one is more like blues and greens and yellows. And yeah, so they're turning out really fun. I'm just trying to make them all really like unique so that each side is a little different. And I have about 8 of these cut right now. So yeah, so these will be in the shop on the 21st of January. This is gonna be my first update of this year. And yeah, let me know kind of what you would like to see for the new year. This one has like a linen bottom and then just the patchwork on the top. yeah, I'm always interested to hear what you are wanting to see, or if there's something that I've done in the past that I might be doing less of. Something that I used to do a lot of was the patchwork bags, and I've been doing them less lately. But I want to get back into doing them. They take a bit more time, but the result is really unique. And yeah, it's just nice to make something a bit more unique for the shop. So yeah, anyways, that's going to be in the shop on the 21st, and there's still some things left in there. There's always stock in the shop these days. I think there's still quite a few bags. I'm looking here. So yeah, have a look at that if you like in the meantime. And yeah, look forward to my next video. It's a little late because it's already January, but my next video is going to be a rundown of everything I knit in 2021. So you can look forward to that. That'll be up in another week on the channel. So thanks so much for joining me, and Happy New Year, and we'll be talking again soon. Bye.